Hello, Chaplain Paul, and today we're going to talk about Autopilot. So I wrote this story called Autopilot, and I'm going to send it to Brianna so she can share it with all the patients and whoever's watching this video. This is Autopilot, and it's about setting our life on autopilot when the storms of life come blowing in so that we don't spin out of control and crash in worry, doubt, fear, anxiety, depression, that we're at peace. We have a peace and a love that surpasses all understanding because we set our life on autopilot. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to read the whole thing because, reading the whole story is kind of lame when you make a video. What I'll do is I'll just explain the story. It would be better. This is the story right here. So, okay, so here's the deal. You got a kid, and I named the kid in the story's name is Kevin. He's 19 years old, and it's his birthday, and his dad is taking him to the airport for free flying lessons. He always wanted to learn to fly. His mom's not too happy about it, but the kid's name is Kevin, and he wants to learn how to fly. So they go over to the airport, and the instructor's there, and the character in the story I named after my dad and my brother. My dad Paul and my brother Kevin. And then the instructor I named after Pastor Don. Okay, so Pastor Don, he's the instructor, just like pastors help to guide us and lead us, and help us through life storms. This is like Pastor Don. He's sort of the instructor. And so what he does is he takes them up. They fly around. Oh, I have this little plane here made out of Mountain Dew cans. Okay, so they go up. They're flying around. Everything's cool. It's a nice, beautiful, sunny day like we have today, and they're flying, and everything is cool. And so they come to a certain point, and Pastor Don tells Kevin about all the controls and how to operate them, and there's a whole checklist before you take off that you have to go through for safety precautions. And so now they're flying, and Pastor Don says, if we get into trouble, if you ever get into trouble, if you ever hit turbulence and things are spinning out of control, you go into a dive or what happens is, he says, you switch on the autopilot, and instead of going like this and like this and like that, now you're leveling off and you're just kind of cruising around the airport at high altitude. You're cruising around. You're going in a big circle, and you call Mayday, Mayday, and the people on the ground will help to talk you down. But meanwhile, while you're getting it together, getting your thoughts together and getting your composure together, you could be rest assured that you could be at peace and rest and have peace of mind knowing that the plane is on autopilot. It's flying for you. You don't have to worry about the controls. You don't have to worry about the plane. All you need to worry about at that point is yourself, getting yourself under control, doing the proper procedures, calling the guys on the ground so that they can help you to land, a good, clean, safe landing. So he goes through a couple of lessons, and they're flying around, and I like doing that, like that, So he's flying around, and everything is cool, hunky-dory. Okay, so now it's the last lesson, and they go to the airport, and it's cloudy, and it starts to rain. And he says, Pastor Don, are we still going to go up today? He says, yes, Kevin. You have to learn how to fly in good weather and bad. This will be good experience for you. So that you know how to handle yourself in rougher weather. So they take off, and they're hitting turbulence, right? And they get to a certain altitude, and now everything is cool, because they're up above the storm. They're flying around, and everything is calm and everything. And then Pastor Don says, okay, Kevin, take her down, about 500 feet so I can give you some you get some experience flying in bad weather. So they take it down, and now they got the turbulence like that, and then all of a sudden it goes into a dive. Right? So now they're diving, okay? And then Pastor Don takes the controls, okay, and he levels out the plane, okay, and then what happens? Then he's flying the plane, and then he passes out. Oh my gosh, he's passed out. So now Kevin goes and he's helping him, making sure he's still alive, and the plane is going back and forth like this, and Pastor Don had hit his head when it went into a dive, and now he's out cold. Okay, so now Kevin's like, oh my God, what do I do? So here's the plane. It's kind of out of control. It's going up and down in the turbulence, and he calls Mayday. This is flight 193, Mayday, and the tower comes on. What's your situation? What's your emergency? Flight 193. And he said, Pastor Don's knocked out. What do I do? He said, son, just take it easy. Turn on the autopilot. So he's flying like this. He goes, oh yeah. He turns on the autopilot, and the plane levels out. There's still some turbulence, but it's pretty much under control now, and it starts to do a long circle around the airport. Okay, so now Kevin is at peace. He knows, okay, everything's cool. Even though it's a little choppy, the plane's on autopilot. Now he can get his composure, talk to the ground, and they're going to help to talk him down safely. All right. So that's what we do. What do we do when problems of life come in? Here's our lives, like this plane, and we're all, everything is smooth sailing. We're flying along. Everything is great. We're making money, and everything is hunky dory. And then all of a sudden, ba-bing, we get sick or we get in an accident, and here's what happens. We go into a tailspin. Our lives go into a dive like this, just like this, a dive. Okay, we go into an absolute dive. And we spin out of control with worry, doubt, fear, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, anger issues, just a whole list of emotions. And what's God saying in His Word? Chill out, turn on the autopilot. So if we just take a breath, turn on autopilot, then our lives will kind of steady out, because now we're putting our faith and trust in God. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. Yeah, I'm looking at the screen, and I should be looking at the camera. So if you see me kind of looking that way, it's because I'm looking at the screen and not the camera. I'll get it right someday. So anyway, the deal is, we place our faith, hope, and trust in God. We switch on that autopilot, giving it to God. That's what we should do every day when we get out of bed. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct our paths. He shall direct your paths. He shall do it. And we just flick on that autopilot in faith, hope, and love, and let Him guide it. Let Him pilot it. I don't know about you. I can't pilot my life. I can't pilot a plane. I'd rather God do it. God, take control. I obviously don't have control over it. I barely have control over my life on my own. Go ahead, take the wheel. Go ahead, so I can just kind of sit back, relax as a passenger for a change, instead of trying to fly through life myself. Here's Paul, trying to fly, trying to figure out what the heck is going on, how to do it. I'm flying all over the place. Then I say, here's the answer. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct our paths. Okay, hey, Paul, why don't you put on the autopilot? Hey, good idea, God. Click. Okay. Even though the storm's raging all around me, and there's still turbulence, there's still going to be ups and downs. We're still going to up and down through the storm. But know this, God's in control. He's got us in the palm of His hand. We switched over to autopilot. He's going to see us safely through to a smooth landing for the glory of God. Let's try that again. A smooth landing. What? And then you land. Hey God, that was cool. We got through it. You know, I had to have an operation. I was spinning out of control. I got through it. Hey God, I had to go to prison. I was spinning out of control. I got through it. Hey God, you know, my daughter got a divorce, and it was a living hell, but I got through it. You know, hey God, I got in an accident. Hey God, a million things could happen in a single day. I lost my job, you know, but I switched it to autopilot, and He got me into a safe landing. He gets us into a safe landing, emotionally, financially, spiritually. He gets us into that safe landing each day when we put our lives on autopilot. How much time I got left? Okay, we're doing good. So Lord, thank you for providing a switch. Thank you for providing a way that we can be on autopilot. Thank you for the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to you except through Christ Yeshua. We thank you for this day. We thank you for blessing and watching over us. We thank you, Lord, that you are lifting us up each day, helping us to get through the day in a positive way. We give all our faith to you. We give all the praise, glory, and honor to you as we lift up our spirit, lift up our worries and doubts and fears to you each day as we set our lives on autopilot for your glory. In the name of Yeshua Messiah, amen. Okay, this is autopilot. Let's just get one more for fun, okay? See you later.